Good morning. It is a very early 5 in the morning. I have been up since 3 and I went to bed a bit after midnight because we got back so late last night. I am flying out of Kuala Lumpur today. Unfortunately, I am finished in Malaysia. It has been incredible. Definitely will be coming back. I have loved every second. But my God, this morning has been an absolute nightmare. I tried to check in online before I got here. It wouldn't let me. Told me it wasn't available to me. I was like, okay, sure. Got here, tried to check in. My passport wouldn't scan in the automated kiosk thing. So then some man tried to help me because he thought he knew better. Tried to mansplain how to use a kiosk. Oh, could you imagine that it didn't work for him either? Shocking. And then I went up to the counter, had to wait in a long line to tell me, they had to radio someone else and say, okay, go to this counter instead. Had to wait in that long line. I swear the people here, it's their first day on earth. They're pushing in to the point where the guy said, are these people with you? Because they're literally just surrounding me, pushing in. It was ridiculous. But anyway, I'm all checked in. I've dropped my suitcase off and I'm relieved. I grabbed a quick bite to eat for brekkie with mum and dad before I had to say goodbye. Why are you happy to leave me? Oh, sorry. It was sad to say goodbye to mum and dad and Malaysia, but I'm excited for my next adventure. Oh my God, I just had to absolutely sprint through the airport. I almost missed my flight. It was calling final call and I was only just coming through the second lot of security. I didn't realise how much security was here because I went through the first lot. I was like, oh, that was easy, but the gate was so far away. And then we had to go through security again and my hair clipped made the thing beep and oh my God, I was so stressed. I'm a bit puffed now, but I've made it. I'm the second last to board. As it turns out, there was no need for me to stress like that. So many people ended up boarding after me. I'm not sure why they were being so dramatic and causing me so much stress, but we were soon in the air and on our way to Vientiane, Laos. Once we landed, it took forever to get through immigration, partially my own fault, which you'll find out in a second. But once I got through to baggage claim, it was like a suitcase graveyard because it just took so long that everything was already out. I'm all landed in Vientiane, Laos. It has been a very difficult morning. So obviously everything happened where I was in a bit of a rush because I spent a bit too much time on the other side of security with mum and dad. So my own fault completely. But once I got on the plane, someone was sitting in my seat and it was a window seat. And I thought, oh, maybe they got the letters confused, but I mean, I don't know how. It's pretty obvious, very clearly labeled. Anyway, and I just sat in the aisle seat. There was no one in the middle seat, and I was like, do you know what? I'm gonna sleep. I don't care. I'm happy to take the aisle seat. I didn't pay extra for the window, so that's fine. Anyway, I do that. And then a guy comes up, he might have been Aussie actually, and he said, oh, I think you're in my seat. And I was like, okay, I'm so sorry, he's in my seat. So we had to do a 3-way switch. And the guy didn't apologise for sitting in my seat, mind you. Anyway, that is what it is. A little bit frustrating. And then when I get here, so I didn't actually organise an e-visa because I just didn't do it in time, but I knew I could get a visa on arrival, so I wasn't too stressed. Anyway, I get here, I find the line for the visa on arrival, I go, turns out I haven't filled out the right paperwork, so they kick me back out online to go fill out the right paperwork. I fill out the paperwork, I get to the front of the queue. She tells me she wants 40 something. I think she says dong. I said, can I pay card? She says no, cash only. So I have to get back out of the queue to go to the ATM. I get money out of the ATM. I go back. I give her the money. She says this is not enough. I'm like, oh my God. So I have to leave the queue again, go back to the ATM, pay another ATM fee, take out more money, come back, give it to her. Finally, I'm good. It takes a while. They sort the visa and then finally I give it and he's like, okay, all good. She gives it back to me, go to this counter, and then I got through really, really easily. But honestly, it took so long. Save the hassle, get the e-visa. It is so much better, seriously. Obviously, hindsight is a super magical tool, and now I realize she was trying to say dollar. I had misunderstood dong. But the thing was, I knew dong was 40 dong isn't a lot at all. And I was like, why would you be asking in Vietnamese currency? Like, I don't understand. And I was like, oh, I guess they bought a Vietnam, maybe like they're assuming that I've come from Vietnam, so they're just saying, oh, pay in dong. Like, I don't know, I was just so confused. And the free Wi-Fi there wasn't connecting. I didn't have a SIM card yet. So going to the ATM, I had no idea like what I was taking out. It was a purely guessing game. And taking out 800,000 kip felt like a lot of money. I was like, that sounds like it should be enough. Like now knowing what the exchange rate is and things, that's not a lot of money at all. And it was not enough to cover the visa. So, you know, obviously now I know these things. Maybe I could have been more prepared, but I guess it's part of the experience making these silly mistakes. Waiting for my taxi, I saw this pickup and it made me laugh. You definitely don't see that in Australia, but I got to the train station easily. They have proper airport security there. They scan both you and your bags and they're super strict. I've arrived at Vientiane railway station. I'm catching the fast train from Vientiane to Vieng. Now, when I booked the train, I knew that the tickets could sell out. So I booked a couple of days ago. They only released the tickets 3 days in advance. And knowing that I was landing at 8:50, the train leaves at 11:25 or 3:15 were the only options I would have for today. I chose to do the 3:15 purely because I didn't want to miss the train and then have to buy a second ticket. However, I made it well and truly for the 11:25 train. It's about 10:46. And I tried to change my ticket, but it was going to cost more money, and she was saying something. It was a little bit confusing, and I thought, you know what, I'll just sit here, wait. It's dry, I'm safe. I'll get some lunch, do a bit of admin. For lunch, I grabbed this chili basil chicken. It was nice, but quite spicy. First thoughts on Laos. I think the money I don't love. I just don't love any currency that has like a lot of zeros in it. Like, I can't even really tell you the conversion rate. I think 15,000 is like close to $1, roughly. But like when I'm giving people money and they're giving me change, like I honestly just don't know. Like I'm just giving and I'm taking because it's too much for me. Like I get confused about how many zeros are there, and it's so stupid, but I'm just bad. I'm really bad at zeros. They all like blend together in my head, and I'm like, how many zeros is that? Is that 1,000, 10,000? On a quick glance, I can't tell, and I really struggle with that. So don't love that yet, but I am trying to get a bit better with it. Second thoughts, the people here aren't as welcoming as in a lot of other countries, which is fine. It's their right. It's their country. I'm just a tourist, so we'll see how it goes. I mean, I am still in Vientiane, so from what I can gather from other travelers, the vibes are a bit off here, and basically everyone said all the things to do here you can get done in a couple of hours, so it's not worth staying. I don't think I'm going to stay here. Like when I come back, I'm gonna come back for like maybe the afternoon and do a couple of things before I head on to another spot. I may end up staying the night to catch a flight in the morning, but I'm thinking I might do the overnight bus, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, I've not planned to spend much time here really, which is what everyone's recommended. There's just like not a lot to do, and yeah, the vibes are just a bit bizarre to say the least. The 5 hours ended up going really quickly in the end. It was quite a smooth boarding process. The train was so long, I honestly wasn't expecting that. I had actually purchased myself a first class ticket, a little bit bougie for this ride. It was really nice. There was so much leg room and the facilities were so clean. They even had like a cart that came around with snacks you could buy, and the staff were really lovely. I thoroughly enjoyed the views along the way. It took us about an hour to get from Vientiane to Vieng. It's actually a 2.5 hour drive, so the fast train is definitely well worth it. I've officially arrived in Vientiane. It is raining. It's not too heavy, which is good. The train ride was honestly awesome. It was so comfy. There was so much space. It was just incredible. The views were stunning. The staff was so good. The guy came up to me and said, "You're getting off at Vientiane. Your stop is next. Get up, grab your luggage." That was so good because I was so stressed about knowing when to get up because I had no service throughout the train ride. That was the only thing. So I was a bit nervous because I had no idea how close I was, and I couldn't pull up my ticket to check what time I was supposed to arrive, and my physical ticket didn't tell me what time, so I was getting a bit stressed about that. But yeah, he came and told me, so I had plenty of time to get my luggage. It was great. Once I got here, I booked a taxi, and then he's called me and he tried to double the fare, so I said no, I'm not doing that. I cancelled on him and then booked another one, and another tourist came and asked if I was staying at this certain place because I guess that's where he was going, and he offered for me to come with him if we're going to the same place, but I politely declined. That was really lovely though. So I've just booked another one, and so far he hasn't tried to charge me double, so hopefully that's a good sign. I've also just remembered I have a complaint to make. But about other tourists. If another man tries to comment on how much luggage I have, which by the way is very reasonable, I feel. It's literally one backpack and one large suitcase. Very reasonable for a 5-week trip. I have packed more for a weekend away. That's not even a lie. I think this is very reasonable, but the man today particularly enraged me because he was pulling faces at my suitcase and then proceeded to say, "Wow, and I thought I overpacked. This one suitcase is for 3 people." I said, "Okay, I don't need you to mansplain how much luggage I need. I will take as much as I want and I will lug it around without complaint, okay? So I don't want to hear it." I would also like to add, whilst I did say that I wouldn't complain about it, I did struggle to put the suitcase up on the rail on the train because I'm only 5'2" and I genuinely just almost couldn't reach it. So it was very hard to lift up that much weight above my head to put it on, and a lovely man helped me put it up. So I did really appreciate that. So no shade to all the men, just the ones that comment on my luggage. He helped me with my suitcase and didn't complain about it or comment on how much there was, so I respect him. I'm at my accommodation now. It is pretty cute. I will give you the room tour shortly. When I got here, the lady at reception was so adorable. She apologized profusely that there was no elevator, and I was like, "Oh, it's absolutely fine. I'm happy to carry my suitcase up." And she said, "No, we'll do it together." She said, "I can't carry it up myself, but we can do it together." And I said, "Absolutely not. I will carry it." And then she was so upset that I wouldn't let her help me. I carried it up the stairs and she's like, "No, please, I'll hold this end, you hold that." And I was like, "No, honestly, I'm more than happy to carry it." So she said, "Well, I'll carry your shoes." So bless her, she carried my shoes up for me because most places are very much no shoes indoors, which I absolutely love. So I took them off. And she carried them up for me. So sweet. This is my room. As you can see, the first thing I do when I get to any hotel is get rid of the cushions and the bed runner because they're always so dirty. You never know when they're last cleaned. Okay, so I've done something moderately wholesome but also simultaneously incredibly cringy. So the issue with being a middle traveler, not your traditional backpacker or luxury holiday goer, is that the backpackers obviously make loads of friends and things because they're all hanging out in their hostels and stuff, whereas when I'm in my hotels it's a lot harder to meet people. Now in Malaysia it was okay because I knew Malaysia's not super touristy, particularly among younger people, so I didn't expect to meet many people my age or anything, and to be honest I didn't meet a single person my age while I was there for the whole 2 weeks. Unless they were with their families or things like that. No other solo travelers my age did I come across. But now that I'm in Laos, it is very much backpacker central. So I thought, you know what, I want to get out and make friends, but like, it's a bit tricky, right? Like, where do I go, you know? So anyway, there's this thing called Hostel World, which most people that book hostels will use the app to read reviews, book hostels, and then they get free access to like the chat group. So when you're in each city, or like for different events and things like that, there's like an automated chat that you can go into and just message like, hey, anyone around for a drink, or want to grab dinner, that sort of thing. Anyway, now I'm obviously not booking hostels, so I don't get free access to this thing, but I could pay to get like social access to it, so I could like join the chats. So I paid $18 to join these chats. I put myself out there. I put a message into the chat basically saying, hey, I'm a solo traveler. It's my first day in Vientiane. Anyone around for dinner/drink? And I got a response. So I am about to head over to another hostel. They're doing like some sort of meet and greet happy hour thing, and then there's like a beer pong competition after. So we're gonna meet there for a drink and maybe some beer pong. So I'll keep you updated. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you come back to see what shenanigans we get up to tomorrow.